Was Benjamin justified in resisting Israel's attack against them in Judges 20? This is the question that we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of Judges on Walking Through the Bible. Today we're going to be discussing Judges 20 verses 12 to 25. But before we do that, let's read the passage. If you have a Bible with you, turn to Judges 20 verse 12. But if you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So Judges chapter 20, beginning at verse 12. Then the tribes of Israel sent men through all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, What is this wickedness that has occurred among you? Now therefore deliver up the men, the perverted men who are in Gibeah, that we may put them to death and remove the evil from Israel. But the children of Benjamin would not listen to the voice of their brethren, the children of Israel. Instead, the children of Benjamin gathered together from their cities to Gibeah, to go to battle against the children of Israel. And from their cities at that time the children of Benjamin numbered 26,000 men who drew the sword, besides the inhabitants of Gibeah, who numbered 700 select men. Among all this people were 700 select men who were left-handed. Every one could sling a stone at a hair's breadth and not miss. Now besides Benjamin, the men of Israel numbered 400,000 men who drew the sword. All of these were men of war. Then the children of Israel arose and went up to the house of God to inquire of God. They said, Which of us shall go first to battle against the children of Benjamin? The Lord said, Judah first. So the children of Israel rose in the morning and encamped against Gibeah. And the men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin, and the men of Israel put themselves in battle array to fight against them at Gibeah. Then the children of Benjamin came out of Gibeah, and on that day cut down to the ground 22,000 men of the Israelites. And the people, that is, the men of Israel, encouraged themselves and again formed the battle line at the place where they had put themselves in array on the first day. Then the children of Israel went up and wept before the Lord until evening, and asked counsel of the Lord, saying, Shall I again draw near for battle against the children of my brother Benjamin? And the Lord said, Go up against him. So the children of Israel approached the children of Benjamin on the second day. And Benjamin went out against them from Gibeah on the second day, and cut down to the ground 18,000 more of the children of Israel. All these drew the sword. In chapter 19, we had the men of Gibeah brutally raping a Levite's concubine, which led to this woman dying. In our last lesson, we had Israel coming together at Mizpah within the boundaries of Benjamin in order to hear the matter and render judgment as to what action would be taken. It was decided that the men of Gibeah had to be dealt with, and so they prepared for war. Coming to verse 12, we find that Israel didn't originally intend to fight the entire tribe of Benjamin, but simply the men of Gibeah, for it was that city that had committed the crime. So it was that Israel called to the families of the men of Benjamin to hand over the perverted men of Gibeah to be dealt with. Deuteronomy 22:22 prescribed that these men be put to death, and so that was going to be the penalty. However, the tribe of Benjamin said no. They wouldn't hand these men over. In fact, not only would Benjamin not hand these men over, they would gather themselves together to fight against Israel. Now, why would Benjamin do this? We're not told exactly. It could be out of a sense of tribal loyalty in not wanting outside tribes to be seen as interfering with what should be internal matters within the tribe, or it could be that the tribe of Benjamin didn't think that what was done was all that bad. Remember, the children of Israel had begun their descent away from God by this point in time, and so, as it is when people go off into sin, they seek to justify their actions as not sinful, and therefore not in need of punishment. Whatever the case, Benjamin was not justified in their actions, for the sin of Gibeah needed to be properly dealt with. And so, with the tribe of Benjamin taking the side of the men of Gibeah, Israel would now need to go to war with the entire tribe of Benjamin in order to punish the men of Gibeah. And on paper, this war shouldn't have been close. The men of Israel who came out to fight numbered 400,000, while the tribe of Benjamin who came out to fight numbered 26,700. That is a 15-to-1 advantage for Israel over Benjamin. In modern warfare, invading armies seek to have a 3-to-1 ratio against the enemy in order to ensure victory. So what Israel had here should have been overkill, having more than enough troops to win. Israel inquired of the Lord who should go first, and the Lord told them Judah would go first. The battle took place at Gibeah, and the tribe of Benjamin killed 22,000 from Israel that day. Now, seeing as how the Lord approved of this battle, that was quite a shock. Israel was undoubtedly shocked at these events. It is said that they wept before the Lord until evening, and then asked the Lord to counsel them as to whether they should continue. The Lord said that they should, again showing his approval. Now, from the text it appears that it was the next day that Israel went to battle again, but that is not a necessary conclusion from the text. For what happened in verse 25 can easily mean the second day of battle. The results of the second day of battle was only slightly improved from the first, with 18,000 more men of Israel dying. This combined number represented 10% of the loss of Israel's army, more than the entire army of Benjamin, and this in a battle that the Lord approved of. What was going wrong? We'll discuss that, the Lord willing, in the next lesson. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Judges 20, verses 26 to 35, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.